This is a Pele Media podcast.
Welcome back to Goonies Minute, everybody. Goonies Minute is the fan podcast where we carefully explore the movie Goonies minute by minute. This is Brady.
And this is Chris.
And we are here today to cover minute 68. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Doing pretty good, man. Getting kind of depressed, though. We're wrapping things up over Jurassic Park minute. And going to be sad to see that one go.
I know. From talking to you, it seems like you'd want that one to go on about another 3 months.
Yeah, right? Love that movie.
It's a great movie.
It's a really good
Let's
movie.
go watch it after we finish this minute.
Yeah, right?
But the only way we can watch it after finish this minute
is if we
get into the minute. Let's get into the minute.
In the previous minute, Chunk and Sloth began to get to know one another. Chunk threw Sloth a Baby Ruth candy bar, but Sloth failed to catch it. As the minute ended, Sloth was ripping his chains out of the wall in frustration. At minute 68, Sloth finally breaks free of his chains and is able to pick up the candy bar. We cut to the Fratellis hot on the Goonies trail. As they make their way through a tunnel, they are stepping on top of Data's booby traps, which are sparking under their feet. They come across Chester Copperpot's skeleton. Jake bends down and checks his wallet. Ma shines her flashlight across the ground. She notices a child-sized footprint. She orders the boys to follow those size 5s. As the minute ends, Sloth approaches Chunk. He hits his hand to his chest and says his name, Sloth. Chunk points to himself and says, Chunk. Sloth responds by lightly tapping his hand against Chunk. Chunk is knocked clear out of his chair. And thus ends minute 68 of the Goonies.
So, I was talking at the end of last minute about kind of the goofy noise that Sloth makes when he's trying to break the chains. And I kind of made light of it, and it kind of sounds like a controlled Arnold Schwarzenegger. So many times that Arnold Schwarzenegger is struggling in his movies, he makes that goofy noise. And there's, as goofy as the character of Sloth is, there's nothing goofy about the noise he makes. It's a very strong, controlled, in charge noise, and it's effective. But adding a little humor into it, and I'm not joking about this, I want to compare him to also a donkey braying.
Really?
Okay.
Okay.
So whenever, and you can YouTube this, whenever you call a donkey or a donkey gets really excited and starts its braying, it's not like a horse that can continue to make noises or a cat or a dog that meows or barks. A donkey goes, yeah, it keeps going, and it gives a crescendo, and then it's like it's spent, and he's like, okay. And then it's like they're completely spent. Well, this is what happens with Sloth. He has this incredible growl and grunt, and he rips the chains off of the concrete wall. Uh-huh. And he's like, and it just reminds me of a donkey after a donkey makes that noise.
Braying. I've never heard the term braying. That's just
donkey.
The sound.
That's what you call a donkey brays. Okay. Anybody doesn't believe it? Go YouTube donkey braying, and there's an extreme amount of noise, and it's like it's exhausted.
Okay.
Okay. Trust me. It relates to this.
Okay.
Now, getting back to this whole scene.
All right. So we see, some people might not catch this. Sloth is actually wearing an Oakland Raiders T-shirt, and John Matuszak.
I did not catch that.
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't catch that.
The actor played for the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about that for about 5 minutes last episode.
That's true, we did. The better half of the show.
But you don't have to mention that.
No. Now, we cut to the Fratellis, who we haven't seen in a while, running through the tunnels, and they're about to come across Chester Copperpot. But Jake is stepping on booby traps. These things like sparks or something that are flying up.
Little poppers.
Is it the
poppers? The only thing that I can... It's not. It's making the sound of a little bit like Black Cat's firecrackers, but it's not. There used to be some kind of these like rock things that you threw down that would pop because it's some type of chemical reaction when it hits the ground. That's what it sounds like. But I don't remember them being to where if you stepped on them it would do it. But I know if you threw them down hard enough they would because it causes some kind of chemical reaction. I don't know what they were called. I just call them poppers. But it's some kind of variation of that.
Huh.
However, I mean, what was the purpose of this? Was this so, like, the Goonies would hear them coming? Because it certainly wasn't going to hurt them, and it doesn't really slow them down.
You know,
Or this is just like kind of a more of a childlike booby trap.
I
by
think a
Data.
child like Data's like, oh, something that sparks is gonna hurt someone or deter them or slow them down or whatever. That's the only sense I can make of it. That is a pretty good idea though, and good notion that it would be something they would do to hear the Fratellis coming.
Right. I mean, they don't know how far along they're going to be.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to mention, think about the difference in reaction when the Goonies saw Chester Copperpot and when the Fratellis saw Chester Copperpot.
Yeah,
This ain't
exactly.
their first rodeo, and this ain't their first dead body, obviously,
Right.
that they've seen. It is nothing for these people to see a dead body and grab an item that was owned by this person that is now deceased.
First thing Jay goes for is the wallet, and he even makes the mention that it's empty. You know, they clean him out. That's the only thing the first thing they notice, the only thing they care about.
Yeah, okay. There was an interesting interaction there. Jake says, clean him out. Ma said, sure, right before they ate him. And then Francis says, stupid. Now, do you think this is just Ma and Francis saying, like, obviously the Goonies didn't have anything to do with this, and this is being,
Right.
them being sarcastic?
Yeah.
What did you make of that?
I think it's exactly it. They're saying, no, Jake, they didn't clean this guy out. They didn't eat him. You're an idiot.
Yeah, you're an idiot. This guy's been dead for years. Come on now, think a little bit. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I think
As
so.
far as that's concerned. Okay, after that little interaction where Francis calls Jake stupid, Ma sees a footprint and she automatically knows it's a size 5. Follow those size 5s. And
Yeah.
and you know they and it's such a perfect footprint. And right at the end of the minute, they go back to Chunk and Sloth, and it's an interesting camera angle. They're way down below from Chunk's point of view, and Sloth literally looks like he's 10 feet tall. And they do their little solidarity thing with their arm to the chest, like,
Yeah.
you know, and they
Me
introduce
and
each
you.
other.
Yeah.
And that's kind of their official, you know, they had a little connection before, but this makes it official.
Yeah, exactly.
And they make a pact, so they're buddies now at this point, and we're about to see them join the chase in just a bit.
That's absolutely right. We get a third chase going on now. You know, it's not just the Goonies, it's not just the Fratellis, it's now Sloth and Chunk as well. So their chase is on, and we will see, you know, where that goes in the coming minutes. You got anything else?
That's it.
That's it for me. Thanks a lot, everybody. We will see you back here again tomorrow for minute number 69, and until then, this is Brady.
And this is Chris.
And we're here to remind you that Goonies
Never say
die. Goonies Minute is a fan-supported podcast. If you like the show, then leave us a review on iTunes. You can find us at GooniesMinute.com, Facebook.com/GooniesMinute, Twitter.com/GooniesMinute, and at Instagram at GooniesMinute. You can contact us at GooniesMinute@gmail.com. You've been listening to a Pele Media podcast. For premium content and exclusive podcasts, visit us at patreon.com/Pele Media. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Pele Media and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/Pele Media.